William, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, sir.
Hey, if this is your first time to join us, this is a weekly program called Spirituality Uncorked. We're broadcasting from CSL Palm Desert here in Palm Desert, or Center for Spiritual Living. And tell us a little bit about, William, about the program and kind of what it's about, why we're doing this.
It's to expand awareness of who and what you truly are, your connection to the universe, how to access it, how to direct your life, that you are not just a reaction to life, that you actually have the ability to direct your life.
I like that. I'm glad it's recorded so I can watch that again later. That's good. Very good. Hey, all kidding aside, today's topic is a little bit different from a standpoint, again, we try to choose topics that you, the audience, will find valuable, and that you can take this information and put into action and start, as you said, change your life. And as we've had on the show before, like Reverend Rebecca, change your thoughts, change your life. And so today we're going to talk about something that really, I don't know, I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say about it. It's how to trust yourself. And what does that mean, William?
What it means for me is that we are all part of the divine. We all have that connection. No one person has a greater connection than another. However, there is a belief system that is sometimes built up that we have about ourselves based upon somebody else's thoughts. And that's what I'd like to talk to you about today, is how to fix that.
Well, I mean, okay, so in previous episodes, we've talked about, hey, this is an inside job. It all happens from the inside. But what you're saying, it sounds like, hey, I'm based on how I feel, or should I do this because Bob over there has judgment about me, so I don't go forward. Is that what you're talking about? Sometimes we make decisions on moving forward or not moving forward because we're concerned about how other people will look at us?
No, it's not superficial as that. It is, as Reverend Rebecca said in the previous episode about how to pray, our thoughts become things. And our thoughts are really based upon a belief system. And as we're younger, we are told things about ourselves. And they become a pseudo-life or a belief system about yourself. And I'd like to talk to you today about how you have and have had the ability to change that perception about yourself. And that's where the trust comes into play.
Okay, so sometimes there's a saying is, when the clay is hard, it's really hard to remold that clay, like PlayDoh. So sometimes, and I've heard this before, from grandparents when too old to change. Old dogs don't learn new tricks. I mean, are you saying that our personalities, our traits are malleable?
Definitely. And you can always teach an old dog a new trick.
Why did you look at me when you said that? So let's talk about that because this all comes back into trusting yourself. Like, when, let's say for instance, someone is going through a time and maybe they've had fear in their life. They've been fearful. And so they've had that in their life based on what you're saying is maybe they learned when they were young.
Yes.
And now that stopped them from living that fullest life, where you said that divine is within all of us. Well, to me, when divine is within all of us, that's like, hey, that is a stone without a flaw in it. But yet when the fear is there, that's a flaw in that stone, so I can't be my brightest light. Is that what you're saying?
Okay, I like that analogy, but let's take that a step further.
That's why you're here. That's why you're here.
That's right. The stone, or how about this? The diamond that you are is perfect. It is that essence within yourself that is part of the divine. However, the layers of mud that had been collecting on top of that diamond is the belief system and the thought system that was created and that you bought into of who you thought that you truly were. I'm here to say that underneath that layer of mud is the perfection of spirit, that diamond within yourself.
So, getting back to today's topic as far as like how to trust yourself, how do we trust ourselves to start peeling back those layers of mud? Now, before you answer that, growing up, and I'm not special. We all have dysfunctionality at some point in our lives, right? I was real good it was described as, it was like mailboxes for me. An experience would happen, I'd put it in a mailbox, I'd lock it away and just block it out, right? How do we get to the point where we trust ourselves to say, you know what? I can open up that mailbox, I can go past that experience and really get, as you say, those layers of mud off of that diamond. How do we start that process, William?
That process is started by, and this is based upon my own experience, as I reflect back upon my own life, that as a energetic young child, let's just put it like that, I got in trouble quite often. And a lot of times I would be getting reprimanded before the actual switch came out about who and what I was doing. And I was raised up in a military family, so that to talk back was not allowed. However, to this day, I still remember having those thoughts inside my head saying, that's not the truth of who I am. I only really realized that, the importance of that, when I started coming here to the center in Palm Desert, where our thoughts become things, and that we are always connected to that divine expression. Happened for me when I started coming here and started taking classes. I realized that was, without me even knowing about any of this sort of stuff, that was the divine nature of myself. That was in alignment with spirit, even at that time, even though I didn't know what it was or how to use it or what it was about. But I can now look back and reflect on it that yes, the divine is always there. And that's what we're talking about today, is to trust yourself, that there is a divine knowing. And I'm sure that you, as what I'm saying to you right now, you're shaking your head in agreement, saying that yes, that you can recall that there's things that you've had, feelings that you've had in yourself where you know the truth about who you are, that is not what somebody else is putting on you, that there's a divine ideal, a divine connection that you know that you do have, and it's time to reawaken that.
All right, so take us down that road. In your experience, how do we reawaken that? Because what I'm hearing is that diamond always existed. It already existed within all of us, right? And it's almost like an unlearning process. You know, we came here whole and complete, and through the decades of living, we have learned things or been taught things that are not true, that are not accurate, and they've clouded that. It's at layers of mud. So what did you do to awaken that diamond inside you? Just so we can do the same thing.
Yes. Well, I tell you, it started when I came to this center. And up until that point, about 12 years ago, I had no inkling or no idea about spirituality per se. There was a belief system that I had built around myself with organized religions, and we'll just leave it at that, so that I never really went to church that much. However, organized religion for me and spirituality are not really the same thing. I knew that there was something out there, but I knew it wasn't found in organized religion for myself. Only when I came here and started listening to some of the sermons and talks and Dr. Joe did it click that there is an energy, that it is all connected, and that we can use it. And our thoughts, like Reverend Rebecca was saying earlier, our thoughts do become things. They manifest.
So I like all that. what caused you to take that first step, William, to say, I had never stepped foot in the Center for Spiritual Living, to come into the Center for Spiritual Living, and then be exposed to a new way of thinking that caused you to say, wow, that resonates with me? How did you go from not attending church, organized religion, to coming to the center? What was there something inside you that felt like, hey, there was something missing, there was something uncomfortable? I mean, what made you get off the motorcycle and come in the doors?
It's this. I was not spiritual. Well, no, that's not the right way to say it. I'm not a type of person that sits around with their legs crossed in a chair doing the Om sign. I'm a little bit more practical. I like to live life. Again, getting off the motorcycle. I like to ride. That is my form of meditation. But what resonated with me here is the fact that it's all, for lack of a better way of saying it, it's scientific to me. This philosophy resonated with the analytical side of myself, not the spiritual side, but the analytical. That there's a process, there's a formula. As we're learning geometry and all that sort of stuff, there's formulas, and that is what clicked with me. I could take understanding formulas in a process and now combine it with spirituality and see that they're one and the same thing. There's a thought process that I've been recognizing now where religion and spirituality and science are coming closer and closer together. They're not this polar opposites, but yet they mingle, and they come in and out. And that's what got me excited about this philosophy and this teaching, that there is a process of thought, that there is a process of creating life and creating the life of your dreams. And because of that, it got me excited, and I started taking classes. And just like anything else, learning how to direct my thoughts in an organized and methodical process to now have a pathway to create the life that I want to live.
Oh, that's great. Are you a former politician? Because you're dancing around my question. Mm-hmm. My question is, how did you get from outside those doors to in the doors? What was going on? Because I think that's going to be one of those things that those people watching it, maybe are in your situation or were in your situation, and said, how do I even know that something is missing in my life? It's just uncomfortable. So I fill it with alcohol, I fill it with drugs, I fill it with sex, I fill it with whatever, I fill it with Netflix. Was there something going on in your life at the time that 12 years ago you said, I knew something was missing and I came to the center? Was it your wife brought you here? Was it a friend brought you here? What caused that?
First part, my then girlfriend, now wife, we came here. Was there something missing? No, there wasn't something missing. I did not have a sense of lack or a sense of wandering in the desert, not knowing what's going on. I lived life. But what I found here when I came through these doors is that instead of wandering in the desert and just allowing life to happen to me and reacting to life, I actually had the ability to direct my life. And that's what got me excited. That's what got me to start trusting myself, not just to react to what is coming from the outside in, but there was a power that was already there, that diamond underneath all that mud that was already there. And by coming to the center, just like a diamond when you find it in the ground, it's got that natural look to it. But through polishing that rock, it creates the facets which then harness the light and make it shine. And that's what this center does for you. It takes the diamond that is within yourself, the diamond that is in your own mud. It teaches you how to polish yourself to where you have the ability to shine.
William, I suspect we're going to talk more about this in the future, but for those people that this resonates with and they want to know more about the center, tell them first of all, if you like this, make sure you hit the like button, and there's also a place there you can do what?
You can actually come to our website at cslpalmdesert.org, or like Jeff was just saying, you can find us on YouTube at CSL Palm Desert.
That's it. Make sure that if you like this and you always want to be notified that we have a new video coming out, we come out once a week, smash that subscribe button, share it with a friend, and hit that bell on the side there, because that little bell, every time we come out, it'll send you a little message and say, hey, William's got another one out, or Reverend Rebecca, and there's a new message. We come out once a week. William, I want to thank you. I really appreciate you doing this.
I'm tough like a diamond.
I love it. Well, thank you all for joining us. My name is Jeff Harrison, along with
William Conway.
And we're here at
CSL Palm Desert.
For Spirituality Uncorked. We'll see you again next time.